Let's begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Podcast by MrB. I am your teacher, Mr. B, and today we are doing something very important for your social life. We are killing the robot.
Hello, Mr. B. I am a robot, processing language.
Exactly. That is what we are stopping today. I see so many beginner students who study very hard. They learn all the grammar, but when they speak, they sound like a computer from 1995.
That was me yesterday. I went to meet a new friend for lunch. He said, "Hey, Anna, how have you been?" And I stood up straight like a soldier and said, "I am fine, thank you. And you?"
And how did he react?
He stopped smiling for a second. He looked confused. He said, "Oh, okay, good." It felt like I hit him with a cold bucket of water.
That is a perfect way to describe it, Anna. I am fine, thank you is grammatically perfect, but socially it is freezing cold. It ends the conversation. Today, we're going to reach 2,200 words of pure, natural English to make sure you never sound like a machine again.
I am ready. I am taking off my metal helmet. My brain is ready to be human.
Let's start with the why. Why do textbooks teach, I am fine, thank you?
Because it is correct. My book has a picture of two people in suits shaking hands. They look very happy saying it.
Those people in the book haven't been outside since 1950. In 2026, English is fast, it is rhythmic, and it is emotional. Fine is a word we use when we don't want to talk. If a husband and wife are arguing and the wife says, "I'm fine," is she actually fine?
Oh, no, that means the husband is in big trouble.
Exactly. So when you say, "I'm fine" to a friend, it can actually sound like you are angry or bored. It's a conversation killer. We want to be conversation builders.
Okay, I want to build. What is the first brick in my building?
Situation 1, the fast casual greeting. You are at a store. The clerk is busy. He says, "How are you today?"
He didn't even say, "Are you?" He said, "Are ya?"
Yes, in casual English, you becomes ya. If you say, "I am fine, thank you," and you, the clerk will be confused because he has 10 people behind you in line. He doesn't have time for a formal speech.
So what is the quick human answer?
Just 2 words, doing good, or even shorter, good, thanks.
Good, thanks. That's it? No I am, no thank you?
In a busy store, good, thanks is the most polite thing you can do because it is fast. It shows you respect his time. Let's practice. I'm the clerk. How are you today?
Good, thanks.
Perfect. Now, what if you have a little more time? You are meeting a friend at a cafe. They say, "How's it going?"
I remember this one from our last talk. Not bad. How about you?
Excellent memory. But let's add more flavor. Native speakers love to use adverbs to show emotion. Instead of just good, try pretty good.
Pretty good. Why pretty? I am not a beautiful girl in this sentence.
No, in this case, pretty means mostly or quite. It makes the word good sound more natural. I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
Now we're talking. Now let's imagine a different friend, a friend you haven't seen in a long time. They say, "Anna, long time no see. How have you been?"
Oh, this is a big question. I have a lot of news. I got a new cat, I started a YouTube channel, I learned to cook pasta.
Whoa, slow down. Even with a good friend, you don't want to give all the news in the first second. You need a summary phrase.
A summary, like the back of a book?
Yes, give them the feeling first. Say, "I've been great. Life is busy but good. How about you?"
I've been great. Life is busy but good. How about you?
That is a perfect hook. It gives your friend a chance to ask, "Oh, why is life busy?" And then you can talk about your cat and your pasta.
I see. I am inviting them to ask more. I'm not just hitting them with a textbook wall.
Exactly. You're opening a door. I am fine is like closing a door and locking it.
Mr. B, what about the robot word and you? Why is that bad?
It's not bad. It's just lazy. It sounds like you are a tennis player just hitting the ball back without looking. To sound human, you want to show interest. Try, how are things with you?
How are things with you? That sounds very kind.
It is. It shows you care about their things, their life, their work, their family.
Let's practice that. Mr. B, how's it going?
Pretty good, thanks. How are things with you?
Not bad, just studying hard.
See, the conversation is moving. It's alive. Now, let's go to situation 2. This is the one that makes everyone nervous, the office.
Okay, I am in my office chair. My boss is walking toward me. He looks very serious. He has a coffee in his hand.
He says, "Morning, Anna. How's everything today?"
How is everything? Does he mean my computer, my desk, my lunch?
He means your work and your mood. This is a professional check-in. If you say, "I'm fine," it sounds like you're having a bad day and you don't want to talk to him. That is dangerous for your job.
I don't want to be fired. What is the professional human answer?
Use a positive professional phrase. Say, "Everything is going well, thanks. How are you?"
Everything is going well, thanks. How are you?
Good. Or if you want to sound very energetic and ready to work, say, "Great, thanks. It's a busy morning, but I'm doing well. Yourself?"
Great, thanks. It's a busy morning, but I'm doing well. Yourself?
Using the word busy in an office is actually a good thing. It shows you're working hard.
I am a very busy and very good employee. Yourself is my favorite part. It is so fast.
It is. It's very common in UK and Australian English too. "I'm good. Yourself?" It's like a shortcut.
I love shortcuts. My brain needs shortcuts.
Now let's talk about the hard part. Situation 3. You are not good. You are sad or tired or sick.
This is when I really want to say I am fine because I don't want to cry in front of my boss.
I understand, but if you say, "I'm fine," with a sad face, people will know you're lying. It creates an awkward silence.
I hate awkward silences. They feel like they last for 100 years.
To avoid the silence, use a soft truth. You don't have to tell the whole story. You just give a hint. Try, "Honestly, I'm a bit tired today, but I'm okay."
Honestly, I'm a bit tired today, but I'm okay.
That is perfect. You're being honest, but you're also saying, "I'm okay," which means you don't need to worry about me.
Oh, so I'm helping the other person feel comfortable.
Exactly. English is often about making the other person feel comfortable. If you say, "I've had a bit of a rough week, but I'm hanging in there," it sounds very human.
I'm hanging in there, like a cat on a branch.
Yes, there's a very famous poster of a cat hanging on a branch that says, "Hang in there." It means you're staying strong even if things are difficult.
I am a cat on a branch. I am hanging in there. I love that.
Let's practice a hard one. You have a cold. Your nose is red. You're coughing. Someone says, "How are you?"
I cannot say great because I am coughing on their face.
Right. Say, "I've been better. I think I'm coming down with something. How about you?"
I've been better. I think I'm coming down with something. What does coming down mean? Am I falling?
Coming down with something is a phrasal verb that means I am starting to get sick. It's a very common way to talk about a cold or the flu.
I'm coming down with a cold. That sounds much better than I am sick.
It does. It sounds less heavy. Now, Anna, we have covered a lot of ground. We have casual, professional, and difficult situations, but we have to talk about the most important thing.
What is that? The grammar?
No, the intonation, the music of your voice.
Oh, the robot music.
Yes, If you say pretty good, but your voice is flat and boring, pretty good, how about you?
Oh, you sound like a robot again, a bored robot.
Exactly. The words don't matter if the music is wrong. In English, we go up on the important words. Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. How about you?
Yes, you need that energy jump. It shows you are actually happy to see the person. If you don't have the energy jump, people will think you're angry at them.
My voice needs to dance. Good. You. Thanks.
Yes, let it dance. Let's do a final review. I'm going to ask you questions, and I want you to give me different answers. Don't repeat yourself.
I am ready. My dancing voice is ready.
Scenario 1. You are at the gym. You see a friend. Hey, Anna, what's up?
Not much. Just going to run. How's things with you?
Perfect. Scenario 2. You are at a very fancy dinner party. A man in a tuxedo says, "How do you do, Anna?"
How do you do? That is very fancy. I say, I am doing very well, thank you. And yourself?
Ooh, look at you, very elegant. Scenario 3. You are at the doctor. You feel terrible. The doctor says, "How are we feeling today?"
Honestly, I've been better. I'm coming down with a bad cough.
Anna, you are 100% human. The robot is dead.
Rest in peace, Robot Anna.
Now, for everyone watching at home, this is the most important part of the lesson. You can watch this video 10 times, but if you don't use the words, you will stay a robot.
Don't be a robot. Go outside, talk to a neighbor, talk to the person at the supermarket.
Exactly. Your homework today is simple. I want you to go to the comments right now. I'm going to ask you, how is your day going?
And don't you dare say, I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, give us a real human answer. Tell us if you are pretty good, hanging in there, or if life is busy but good.
We want to see your dancing voice in the comments.
We are so happy you joined us for this long-form lesson. Growing your English is about small changes. Changing "I'm fine" to "not bad" is a small change, but it makes a huge difference in how people treat you.
It's true. People smile at me more now.
That is the power of real English. Thank you for listening to Podcast by Mr. B. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson with me and Anna.
See you next time. Keep practicing.
Goodbye, everyone.